We serve a God that is not afraid to stand up to 600 armed soldiers on our behalf. Whom do you seek? I serve a big God. If anything is too hard for him, it would have been this moment, right? If anything was too much for him to handle, it would have been this moment when 600 million are coming with weapons. So therefore, that is proof that he is able. It don't matter what you're facing today. You might have a sickness, but God will stand in between that. God will stand in the gap. You might have a Goliath that's been calling you out every single day, but God will stand in between that. God will stand in the gap. You might be face to face with an approaching storm, but God will stand in the gap. What would have happened to those disciples if those 600 men came and Jesus wasn't there? What would have happened if the addictions I went through, if Jesus wasn't there? What would happen in the car wrecks I got into if Jesus wasn't there? What would happen if the things that you went through if Jesus wasn't there? What would happen if the guns that was pulled on me if Jesus wasn't there? What would happen if you went through the things you went through, Jesus wasn't there? Would you be here today? No. I'm standing here today because Jesus stood up for me. You're standing here today because Jesus stood up for you. I'm standing here today because Jesus blocked it for me. I'm standing here today because Jesus stood in the gap for me. Amen? Verse 5.